The way Marcus Rashford is being treated is absolutely disgusting. It's cruel. It's abuse. Marcus Rashford quotes, "I appreciate your support. It is abuse and has been for months. Enough is enough." Definition of insanity. We're doing it all over again. I did a video titled that a couple of months ago, and Marcus Rashford perfectly epitomizes the same feeling as the club. This never-ending cycle of one step forward, two steps back, which feels like it resonates in every single aspect of Manchester United. Marcus Rashford, not for the first time this season, less than 2 months ago, has hit out on the haters of people calling him out for his performances for Manchester United this season. On the 1st of March, so again, not even 2 months ago, that he put out an interview, this including the Players' Tribune, in which a 4-minute long video which he states his relationship with Man United and answering the critics questioning his commitment to the club. With the most picked apart quote from that entire 4-minute long video is, "If you back me, good. If you doubt me, better." So first things, comment down below your thoughts on Rashford. I'm really intrigued to hear the kind of divide, I think, because it's really 50-50 honestly when it comes to their thoughts on the situation. Comment down below, like, subscribe, and Vizeh Designs, it's all right behind me, my own design company, link down below top of description. Use code Rashford for 15% off. The relationship between Marcus Rashford and the fans is similar to how the fans have also had a relationship with the club, where it's not been stable in really any aspect. The constant cycle of having a manager that you want out because the players are no longer playing for him, bring in a new manager, have a couple of good results and pick up some form, and it feels like United are back. The same players from the previous manager doesn't perform, and then the fans want the manager out to then bring a new one in. We're seeing this again under Erik ten Hag. This time I do believe that it's much more justified to question Erik ten Hag considering what he's had at his disposal. Because I'm a Burnley fan, I'm neutral to this. I feel like I can give my thoughts on this and not come from my top six biased perspective. I still don't know what Erik ten Hag's style of play actually is, and the fact that it's been nearly 2 seasons now, you may go into injuries, you may go into he's not had his first main key 11 available, which for me is an excuse because you still have a style of play. No matter who's in that position, you should still have a style of play. I don't see that style of play. And United, as what it has been for many years, the last time I've seen an actual style of play was under Louis van Gaal, from my memory. It's all been set on individual moments of brilliance sporadically across the game. To bring it back to Marcus Rashford, this is not the first time that he's gone through this, and may not be the last. He had a very poor season, had links to being moved and shipped away, and in the next season had a fantastic campaign, scoring 30 plus goals for the club and looking like the man that he was meant to be, then faded off for the last third of the year, and now this season has just been kind of another one of the good old days of him not really fulfilling his potential. Why is that? Why can he go off the boil to then being red hot and then off the boil again? Is there such thing as just being a purple patch player, being a confidence player? Is that just a part of what some players can be mentally? Many United fans have questioned that he simply was fighting for a contract, that his contract was running out and he played for that new contract. Then once he's got the new deal, then he's no longer as interested. This is something that I've seen questioned on Rashford a lot of times this season. So I will give my thoughts here as a neutral fan, and that is Marcus Rashford seriously needs to get off social media. For any football fan, no matter who you support, if it's Salford or Man United or Real Madrid, there's non-negotiables, and those non-negotiables is 110% effort. Sweat on the shirt, fighting for your teammates, putting in the hard yards. I play for a team in the Polish 7th division. I get told to do this. If you play for a Sunday League team, or you're 5-a-side or 7-a-side at Power League in England or whatever, you get told the same thing. Put a shift in. And even if you have a bad game, you don't do that well, at least you can say that I've at least worked hard for my team and I tracked back and so on and so forth. Marcus Rashford hasn't done that this season, and these are things that I see as non-negotiables. No matter the incredible talent that he has, which he absolutely has, and that leads to the main key frustrations, the fact that he is an unbelievable talent. He's got attributes that can take him to being up there as one of the best players in the Premier League. but he's not got the consistency for it, and for many people they deem as he's not got the work ethic for it either. This idea of simply just working hard and you get given a bit of leeway that way isn't new. There's a reason why players like Scott McTominay this year has been given a lot more credit. Not just because he's the only one that's really getting into the box and scoring goals, but he puts a shift in. Bruno Fernandes is also a player that people maybe one way or another in terms of if they like him or not, but you can't really ever doubt his commitment. They may say he's a bit petulant at times and that he's not really a great leader, but you can always say he puts in effort. I've spoken to quite a few United fans about their thoughts on Rashford. One of them being my own brother, United fan for his entire life. Yes, he is still quite annoyed that I picked Burnley over United. I think I'm living a much more peaceful life than him in most regards. My brother is nearly 40, he's 39, so he's lived through the great years of United back in the late 90s and the 2000s, so on and so forth. He's seen great players, and he knows, like many United fans, if you're of 30-40, what it means to be a United player. And for him, he explained it like this. United Way spoke out a lot. It's the culture and the identity of the club. That is bringing in youth, wing play. However, the most key part is 110% fighting for the badge. Stapled by Sir Alex Ferguson, but it was already ingrained into the club way before him. And this is what makes Rashford so frustrating, that he should be what embodies the United way. A young talent that came through the academy, that he's a Manc born and bred and a fan of the club, a winger that's dynamic, has pace, has power, has almost an arrogance to him. That's what a United player should be. One key thing that he also mentions is the fact that there's such a lack of leaders in the team, that Rashford should be the leader of Man United. He should be the captain. He's 26 years of age. He's been in the club since he was a young kid. He should be the captain. But there's barely ever any conversation of him being a captain when a conversation brings itself up. The lack of leaders and the fact that captain is Bruno Fernandes is a problem from his point of view, that Bruno Fernandes is a bad example for the young players around him. Despite him having undeniable talent there and is a great player, his petulance on the pitch rubs off on the others, in his opinion. If you were to ask me my thoughts on it, I can't really disagree. I think the captain should represent the club, and there has been countless times that he does represent the kind of arrogance that a United player should have, but not enough times that comes off. There's also one frustration from me personally, because I'm quite a football romantic, I think you can say. I like to see football in a very pure way. I like to see players that are from the area, from the club, fans of the club, come through the academy and become a superstar, and that they are the representative of the club. I think that's good, and I think football, of course, in recent years have gone past that with the amount of money that's come through. Rashford represents that to me in the same way that Saka represents that for me for Arsenal, Foden for City, Mount did for Chelsea until, of course, he went. Kane represented that for Spurs, now he's gone as well. You know, and of course, I don't expect clubs to stay at their one club forever, but, you know, if they were to go, it'd be in a way like Kane, where he wanted to go and take on a new opportunity, and there's still a mutual love in there. This isn't that, and it's really sad to see. And later on in the summer, it'd be a sad day for me, because he's meant to represent the club. The real shame how it's all kind of turning out, and the fans, so many fans on social media are just really going in on him, and it's just really sad to see for me. The best way for Rashford to prove the haters incorrect is to not even score 30 goals a season, but just to put a bit more effort in. Which I can't really point fingers at fans and say that they aren't right to say that. As a Burnley fan again, if you're a fan of any club, of your own club, if you're seeing a player which you know is fantastic, can be an absolutely fantastic player, not put the same effort in, it's more frustrating than anything else, because you know that he's got so much more to him. So to end this off, I want to give the comments of a United fan, which was the most upvoted on the r/Manchester United Reddit thread, and it was the following. Rashford is one of the biggest problems at United this season. Rashford has a conversion rate of 3% this season. He's only second to Haaland, 34 for shots taken this season with 33, and has one goal to show for it. By the way, this was posted back in November. Maybe you can write this period off as something that you will recover from, however that's not even the main problem. Rashford is taking too many shots, too many build-ups, and plays are getting ruined because Marcus doesn't pass the ball to teammates adequately. This has become a huge decision-making problem for which his teammates often pay the price. Even when he doesn't take the shot, he often either backpasses it or ruins momentum by taking too long on the ball. Now, this wouldn't even be seen as much of a problem if Rashford was helping his teammates like you'd expect from a top half team's winger. However, when it comes to expected assists, Rashford provides 0.13 per 90. I love Rashford as much as any United fan. However, the amount of faith Erik ten Hag is showing him is unwarranted at this point. Other players will soon at this rate start feeling he has a massive bias. When Ronaldo's letting his teammates down at the start of the season, we all agreed about his benching even though he wasn't anywhere near this bad. However, Marcus hasn't shown any signs of improvement despite all of this faith is now costing us results. I don't know what happened. From tracking back issues at the start to mistimed passes to ball holding and poor finishing, Rashford has been one of the biggest problems we've had. Going down into the comments, they compare him to the likes of Theo Walcott, which I think is quite a damning comparison to make considering the heights that he was reaching last season. But simply putting his basics down, that he's not good enough in terms of the basics of football, of when to pass and when to shoot, and decision making being the main key issue. You guys tell me your thoughts, but I don't question fans of United to critique him. And Rashford, I really do think should just get off social media because I just don't think it's beneficial. Tell me your thoughts on Rashford. I'm looking forward to hear it. I'll see you guys next time.